Now, South Africa's innovative community has just been recognized in the region with appointment to a chairperson in the SADC body, Southern Africa Innovation Network, active in 12 countries, promoting innovation and entrepreneurship, has a new vice chairperson, and he's Khathu. He's here in studio to share his new role and plans for SAINI as well. Good morning to you, Khathu, and thank you so much for joining us here on VUCA Africa this morning. Firstly, speak to us. What exactly is SAINI? What is the concept behind that?
SAINI is the Southern African Innovation Network, which is a network of academics, innovators, entrepreneurs, corporate, government institutions, and the NGO sector. So basically, it's the entire sphere of society which is coming together to advocate, lobby, create platforms, and open up new ways within which we can advocate for better innovation in Africa. You would realize that Southern Africa, or Africa in general, is more an adopter of technology,
yes,
let alone developing technology of our own. And we're saying that we need a common voice that can begin to lobby all spheres of society across the board and cross-border, such that we can begin to say African solutions need to be approached from an African perspective. We ourselves, as the citizens of Africa, are the only ones that can be able to come up with solutions that are innovative enough to deal with our own challenges.
Yes.
So what we are doing with the Southern African Innovation Network is to bring about all these people from different places, thought leaders, and people that are coming up with those innovations and say, what is it that you want? What is it that you want from an innovation perspective when you are coming up with a new innovation, when you want this innovation to go into the market, and when you want it to actually be adopted or be registered or accredited, not only in Africa, but also globally. Now, a lot of young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs across board would say, I've got this idea, but for the past 6 years or for the past 2 years or for so long, I have not found anybody who can guide me to take it to the next level. Now, you would say, yes, the DTI is there and a whole lot of other people, but there's a lot of other areas that are not taken care of, whereby we begin to share those kind of experiences, whereby we bring in different institutions, your IDC, your funding institution, your SABS, those that will help with the accreditation, and say, let us get into one room over a period of time and begin to share the ways and means within which we can say, this is how you take your product to the next level. But not only that, to say, what is the new thinking that Africa should be putting together or conceptualizing to ensure that those challenges of water, electricity, sanitation, infrastructure across Africa begin to have that attention whereby entrepreneurs can come up with those particular innovations. So as a non-profit organization or as an association, our duty is to create a platform that young innovators that are coming up in the ranks, including those that are already in the same industry, can actually find solace and share experience going forward.
Indeed. Now, you did say that innovation here in South Africa and Africa as well needs to be further developed. What would you say are some of the major challenges that we are experiencing when it comes to innovation and thinking outside of the box here in Africa?
A lot of people would say the challenges is funding, and I would beg to differ, because funding is as a result of you having something very good to offer. You cannot come up with a bad idea and expect you to be funded. But when you've got something good that has been properly conceptualized, something that is responsive to the needs of the community, of the society, and of that particular client, is where we need to get to. Now, the challenge from what I've just said is that we are not in a position whereby we can nurture the right innovations across the board. Our government policies are not necessarily yet responsive to an entrepreneur that is coming up with a new innovation. It is more responsive to somebody, to a consumerism kind of a program, consumerism kind of a system of society, whereby everything else, entrepreneurs have to either comply with the needs of government based on what they think they need. But you then realize that society in general is only just focusing on saying what is there, not what is it that we need. So we need a platform, or we need to address the challenges whereby from the systems of government, the private sector, across all spheres of society, we begin to create a means within which innovators can find a meaning, can be able to express themselves.
Okay.
If you look at it, you would realize that your Silicon Valley out in the United States, your iHub out up in Kenya, they're constantly looking for more innovations that young people or innovators are coming up with, and that gets taken up and it actually gets introduced to the market. And that is what we are lacking in Southern Africa, a platform or a continuous discussion and discourse where we continue to say, how do we change the system across board and be an innovative nation? People keep on saying it's very important for South Africa and Africa to be an entrepreneurship nation, but you cannot be talking of entrepreneurship if you're not able to develop and nurture ideas and also nurture the right skills. I mean, you talk of skills in technology. We do not have a lot of institutions that are really focusing on talking of issues of fiber, talking of network engineering, talking of product development.
But then how specifically does Sign-E help me? I mean, if I have an idea, or if I'm an entrepreneur that wants to come forward and get some help with regards to, taking that idea to the next step and growing that, how exactly does Sign-E assist me? I'm not talking motivational assistance. Besides that, what does Sign-E do?
Sign-E brings in together a number of thought leaders in its membership. We bring in the different institutions that have done it, so those that are in your corporate sector, government institutions, and say, these are the innovations that are coming out. These are the innovators that requires help. How do you create a linkage between yourselves and the innovator? How do we create a linkage between the funder and the person who has got the product or the innovation? But beyond that, begin to address the issues of skills shortage, whereby we now have got various curriculums that are accredited with various institutions to say these are issues of that would help on innovation. Give you an example. We're now currently talking of critical thinking skills in a school, in the schooling system, to say we need to take it through from grade 8 coming up this way, such that these young people from an early age begin to have an understanding of thinking critically. But beyond that, with the help of your technology innovation agency and a whole lot of other partners, we're beginning to say, let us start from the beginning, the foundational levels. Let us make sure that these young people have got an understanding of how they can be able to come back and innovate. Over and above that, what we also do is to have continuous meetings where young entrepreneurs can begin to share experience. And it's not just motivational, it is also sharing experiences on the real life cases.
Now, Khathu, let's chat quickly because we are running out of time. How do people get involved if they want to become part of Sign-E or get that networking expertise that you guys have? How do they get involved? www.saine.co.za. We've got our coordinators in the offices that are waiting to hear from people that would like to join. I mean, for a membership thereof, it's just for you to be accredited. It's about 350 rands per entire annum. But that buys you a whole lot of things which you would not get on your own. So www.saine.co.za. But we've also got a partnership with an institution called Newnovation, NUNNovation.com, which then amplifies all the innovations that would have helped on this side and those that the rest of the world doesn't know or Africa doesn't know, which then begins to motivate other people to say, when you see other people having done something, you then get motivated to say, oh, if something like this has happened, I can also do better. NUNNovation.com, it's the Sign-E partner. People can go in and also get promoted for free on that platform, purely because it is a non-profit organization. We want to start telling the good news of innovation in Africa. Amazing work indeed. Well, all the best, Khathu, and thank you so much for joining us and chatting to us here on VUCA Africa this morning. That was Vice Chairperson of a Sign-E organization, Khathu Mashau, chatting to us about the importance of developing young minds and innovation here in South Africa and Africa as well. So